Well, hello. Hashtag here. We are now on day 5 of, I don't know what you call it, Team ESSA, hashtag mini coaching, uh, mini training camp, Beccles Tri Club, whatever it is, okay. We're on day 5, and last night we did a talk about nutrition. Yes, I've always done about nutrition, but I think we need to go over this because it's a light bulb moment for a lot of people last night. Now, when we take in carbohydrate, either just before a race or an event or during, most people just take the drink that they like the taste of. And last night I got a little bit more technical about it. Now, you need carbohydrates obviously for racing, for taking part in events, or else after 75 minutes, maybe 90 minutes, even for a well-trained individual, you're going to hit the wall, you're going to bonk. Hitting the wall is obviously marathon running, bonking is what they call the same thing in cycling. You're going to run out of carbohydrate. So as soon as you start, you need to start putting it in. Now, whatever the energy drink that you buy is the cheapest or that you like the taste of, the idea being is that maybe 15-20 years ago it had something in it called maltodextrin. Now, maltodextrin, unfortunately, the maximum you could probably take in is about 60 grams now per hour. This is, so if you take any more than that, it will just sit in your stomach. So if you can imagine you're taking in 90 grams of maltodextrin per hour for 2 hours, you're basically going to have a surplus of 30 sitting in your belly for the second hour, and then a surplus of 60 sitting in your belly. People wonder why they end up on the toilet later on in the event, whether that be a long distance triathlon or a bike ride. So there's new evidence to suggest that fructose, which is a different carbohydrate that basically your receptors in your stomach can absorb at the same time as they can maltodextrin, you can actually have an infinite amount of fructose. Now, I would not challenge this. First off, you have to train your gut, but the idea being that you can actually increase the fructose, because once you've got to 60 grams maltodextrin per hour, that's about it. So the add-on needs to be fructose, and if you can measure the maltodextrin and the fructose separately and put it in your water bottles, take into account the energy bars, the gels that you take, etc., 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 you can actually go upwards. There are some athletes out there that 150 grams per hour. Now, 150 grams per hour is 600 calories all told. Okay, someone like me, big guy, 90 kilos, if I was to ride my bike at a fairly decent pace, I would be burning off probably between 600 and 800 calories an hour. Okay, and it doesn't take a scientist to get it that after a few hours I'm going to be empty. So I need to start training my gut to get me up to that 120, 150 grams an hour, which is quite a lot. Again, if you try this off the bat, 150 grams, you are going to have what they call gastric distress. You're going to go to the toilet a lot, or you're going to actually feel quite ill. So you have to train your gut. And last night in the chat, in the hashtag BTC, whatever it is, there was a lot of people had a light bulb moment. And today we went out and they did a 50-mile route, 25 miles to a really good coffee shop called Planet Cycling, or Cycling Planet, in the center of Mallorca, and we rode back. And what I did is actually I gave them some of my gels, some of my energy bars, for them to actually take on board at perhaps 20 minutes, half an hour into the ride, and on the return, obviously having cake at halfway point at Cycling Planet. And myself and another rider, Toby, we did a little loop, a little bit extra, and then we were going to chase them down, and we nearly didn't catch them because they had the extra energy and they were going faster, just because I gave them some gels, I gave them some energy bars. So it's a light bulb moment for them. I think there's a lot of people today that really did take a lot from that talk last night. I have offered a race plan, an event plan to all the people who attended this course or attended this little training camp. I said to message me direct, and then we will work out a strategy leading up. Not a strategy 2 weeks before the event. We need, I'm going to need a few weeks so they can actually train their gut as well as train their body. Yeah, light bulb moment. Anyway, that's it for me, for the moment at least. Let's crack on. Bye bye.